Okay, today in Tokyo Extreme Racer 2, I'm going to be trying to determine which is the best Nissan Skyline GTR R32 variant. There are three that I know of in the game. There might be more, I'm pretty sure it's just three. Where one in the B class, we're not going to cover that one. We're just going to look at the two Class A R32s. In the beginning, when you first start the game, you only have access to purchase, I think, about 8 different A-class cars, and I don't believe there are any R32s available for purchase. But as you drive around, you come across rivals that are in different cars that you haven't seen before, and after you defeat them, you'll have the ability to purchase their car. So eventually you'll come across some A-class R32 rivals, and when you beat them, you can come in here and purchase an R32 A-class. And there are two of them. There's the R32RN, which is the R32 Nismo edition, for $24,000. And then you can get the R32 RV2, which is the R32 V-Spec 2 edition, for a flat $20,000. So it's $4,000 cheaper. The only difference between these two R32s is the weight. This Nismo edition is 3,153 pounds, and the V-Spec 2 is 3,197 pounds, so that's 44 pounds lighter for the Nismo version, but 4,000 more in price. It only comes in the gunmetal gray here. Now, which one's better, though? You would think, well, probably the more expensive one that's lighter. The Nismo one's probably better. But you might be surprised. Anyways, let's go to time attack mode and try them out. First, I'll try the stock variants. And then after that, I'll try the fully tuned variants. So let's see, stock Nismo. We'll start with the stock Nismo. This is the lighter one, lighter by 44 pounds, and it costs 4,000 more to purchase. And this is completely stock, and you can't even change anything. See, it's completely stock. Let's just do a lap in it and see how we do. And if you press start plus A when you select your shift assist off, you get a green tachometer instead of the orange one. So in case anybody was wondering, that's how you do it. Start plus A when you select your shift on or off. And it's completely bone stock, so nothing fancy going on here. The handling feels a bit stiff, but it's fine for a stock road car, you know, because at these slow speeds, you know, everything is acceptable, you know what I mean? But if I had to classify whatever characteristic it has at the moment, I would say a bit stiff feeling. Not too awful though, but yeah, a little bit of understeer. There's that understeer. I really didn't want to downshift to second gear for such a simple corner, but you know. A lot of understeer. I might have to do second gear for this hairpin here. The brakes aren't very good on the stock vehicles, so I want to go extra slow to begin with. Just in case. Let's see how much understeer we got to battle here. Oh, I could have gone faster there, okay. Will we need second gear for this corner or not? Nah. I mean, it feels like an okay stock car without any modifications, but the stiff understeery characteristics could get exaggerated once you start adding a lot more parts and getting really ridiculous speeds out of it. Alright. No power in fifth gear at all going up this hill. I'll go ahead and downshift it back down. Terrible time, but keep in mind this is absolutely no upgrades at all. Not even tires or muffler or anything. So we got a 426,918. 426,918. Nismo stock. Alright, let's go ahead and try the VSpec 2. See if we can beat that 426.9. Transmission feels a little crummier, but the handling feels a little grippier. There's more body roll, and it's like I can tip it into the corners a little easier. Yeah, better handling, perhaps more sluggish transmission. Nice feel to it though. A nicer feel than the Nismo. Already I'm enjoying this car more, although I feel like I say that the stock gears on the VSpec 2 could use a little bit of a spicing up. They're just kind of sluggish feeling. Not that it wasn't sluggish on the stock Nismo, but you know what I mean. It could just be a placebo effect. The handling is so much better that actually I feel like I could have gone through that one corner without even braking, just letting off the throttle maybe. So we'll see. It does not want to get to fifth gear, I can tell you that much. So don't think it was a placebo effect. Finally. Oh wow, yeah, there's no power in fifth gear at all. Let's back her back down to fourth gear here. That corner was so much easier in the VSpec 2 than in the Nismo. The Nismo struggled on that corner badly. Oh wow, I didn't even need to slow down there. Man, the VSpec 2 has much better turning capabilities. Way better handling, a much better feel. There's no comparison. It's a night and day, way better. I'll still manage to screw up this hairpin probably. Yeah, way too slow. Oh my gosh. I should have just kept it in third. Rolled through it. First thing I would do in this car is upgrade the transmission. The handling is great. I'm not going to upshift here on purpose so that I make sure that I'm going the right speed for this section. Here comes the tricky part. Alright. We're trying to beat a 426.918. Pretty slow through that area, but that's my fault, not the car's fault. I wasn't sure how she would handle it, so I just kind of babied her in there. Same for that corner. Man, it's just so much better than the Nismo. I can already tell you who wins stock. It's this one, the V-Spec 2. You know what I mean? This is just so much better. So the 426.9 with the Nismo, 422.6 with the V-Spec 2. We have a clear winner stock comparison. The cheaper $20,000 V-Spec 2 is vastly superior to the more expensive $24,000 Nismo. Interesting. Well, I guess we could try for fully tuned. Let's try that. Nissan Skyline GTR R32 Nismo C1 inner loop. Understeer. So much understeer in this car. It's really a different way to learn how to have to drive it at the limit, because you have to pre-plan your moves well in advance. Otherwise, the understeer is going to get you, and you're going to slap a wall and lose it all, you know, and have to start over. I mean, you could get used to that. You could get used to that. It just would take some time, you know. Come on. That is, man, that's a lot of understeer. That's all I can say. Oh. Alright, let's see. I'm probably going to have to hit second gear for this hairpin, so let's see, fourth, third, wait, second. Wow, still can't do it. Come on. Ugh. Alright, I'm going to already start slowing down now to make this one, because it's an understeering car. There we go. fourth, third. It's like trying to steer a battleship, you know. You have to plan your steers well in advance, slow down well in advance, pitch it in, everything you can do, engine brake, every trick in the book, just to get it to turn. Oh God, come on. I bet I'm gonna hit the wall here. Okay, good, good, good. All right. I have to start slowing down super early here. There we go. I'm gonna have to slow down super early here. Just slow down a little early here. Alright. What did I get? 339. Alright, the time to beat is a 339 set by the Nismo, and we are now in the V-Spec 2. Let's see if we can do it. Definitely feels a lot better to drive this car than the Nismo variant. More predictable. Still difficult, a lot of understeer and all. Still hard, but I don't know, just smoother, I guess. It turns a little more. I think the ride height could be lowered a bit. A lot of kind of sloshing around, but that's better than just being stuck going straight like the Nismo, you know. This car, you'll be doing more drifting, I guess, when you're doing what you should be doing in this car. Come on. Well, that was third gear. If I would have downshifted again to second, I would have pulled out of that, I think. In the Nismo, I went down to second. Could have gone faster there, though. Oh well. Better safe than sorry. Here's the hard part. Ah, I should have turned in a little sooner. Can't slow it down very well though. It's a very heavy car. But it's easier to drive than the Nismo by a long shot. Might not look like it, but I can tell you, I'm the one driving them right now, and this one is so much easier to drive. I hit that wall, oops, than the Nismo. The Nismo is tough to drive, man. And I got a 339 with both cars. So the thing is, in my opinion, save if you want an R32, save the 4000 and just get the V-Spec 2. Because not just because it's cheaper and that they both can get the 339, but man, I had to kill myself to get the 339 with the Nismo. You know what I mean? It was really, really difficult. Whereas with this V-Spec 2, I mean, I was kind of just driving casually. I had a moment or two here and there where I struggled a little, but yeah, compared to the Nismo, this was just, you know, a Sunday drive, you know, a leisurely cruise. Whereas with the Nismo, I had to pull out every trick in the book and just barely make the turn. You know, it just did not want to turn at all. So yeah, I would get the V-Spec 2 for sure. Okay, now that we figured out which R32 is better, I'm interested, and it was a surprise because the cheaper one turned out to be better. I've always wondered what's the difference between the two Supras in the A-Class. I've never actually purchased the cheap Supra ever, so it'll be interesting to test them both to see what's so different. Is the one just a lot worse and that's all that it is? Because there's this cheap one. I've never even tried it before. The A80RZ for $16,800 as opposed to the A80RZ modified for $44,800. And if you look at the specs, the only thing that's different is this one, you know, the modified one has more torque. Other than that, it says everything's identical. If you look at the torque curves, the power graph on the left, there's the modified, and there's the unmodified. Like I said, I've always used the modified. I've never used the cheap one. I don't expect it to be better the way the R32, the cheap one, ended up being better. I do not expect that because, I mean, it has less power. So, I don't know. You know, how could it be better? So, but just to scratch that itch, you know, that curiosity, I want to try it and see, because I've never tried it before. So let's just find out what it does. Like, I'm curious if it has the same, like, aerodynamic upgrade parts, like if it has a different look to it when it's on stage 5 upgrades. That'd be kind of cool. Like, there's got to be a reason for it, you know, to be in the game. Does it handle better? We'll see. It looks cool. Man, it looks really sexy in its stock configuration without all of the parts on it. I actually like just the basic look of the Toyota Supra. It's got nice handling. Feels faster than the R32, the stock R32s. Oop, oop. I could have done a lot better than that. A lot better. I didn't realize I had so much grip. I'm tempted to retry just to fly through that one. Yeah, because I'm going to be doing the modified timed attack next, so I don't want to have an unfair comparison because I screwed up so bad on that one corner. It's got a good sound to it. It's got a good look to it. It's got a good feel to it. I like the default blue paint job. I didn't even need to let off the throttle there. I could have just gone around that corner. Alright, let's try this in third gear, but without a lot of extra braking. Oh, well, that wasn't smooth. I rubbed the wall. But like I said, I wasn't sure what it could, you know, how to go through that optimally in this car. It was my first time ever driving this. And that was better than the last time, anyways, the last attempt. Fifth gear, and it's still got some pull in fifth, as opposed to the stock R32, which had no pull at all in fifth gear. Oh wow, I could have left it in fifth for that corner even. This car feels fantastic compared to the R32s, and it's only $16,800. Wow. So much better. So much better. And cheaper. Don't buy it. Oh, it's got a 6 gear. Wow. These stock cars, you start to feel like they're all 5 speeds. But man, for just 16,000 compared to those R32s, yeah, it's freaking way better. No contest. Don't buy an R32. Buy this. Of course, this $16,800 variant here doesn't unlock right away at the beginning of the game. You have to wait a while until you drive against a rival who owns one of these to unlock it for purchase. Man, it feels good to drive. And it looks good too. Ah, I did that sloppy. I'm not that great at driving slow cars, like stock, unmodified cars in this game at their limit, because I don't tend to do that. I tend to just spend all my time in highly modified or fully modified vehicles. So I never really mastered the art of smoothly doing hairpins in slow, unmodified vehicles. And then this is my first time driving this unmodified Supra. Fourth? Just leave it in fourth, maybe? Sure, why not? Yeah, it's got great handling compared to the R32s. I wonder if I should downshift here to fourth to make sure I make this. Now I got it. Easy. Man, this is a great car. I don't even feel like I need to upshift to 6th gear though, because we got this turn coming up here. Fourth, third, second. Oh wow, I could have gone faster. Such smooth and precise handling, to be honest with you. I'm not driving it near its limits because it's surprising me how much grip there is there and how smooth the experience is. I'm just enjoying the experience. This is a wonderful, wonderful experience for 16,800 credits. What did we get? 423,685. So 423,685. The stock Nismo R32 was a 426,918. So a full over 3 seconds slower. The V-Spec 2 stock was, I didn't write it down. I don't remember, but it was faster. It might have also been a 423, maybe. Can't remember. We can rewind it. It's recorded. It's on video. I'll find out later. But neither Nismo or V-Spec 2 felt this anywhere near this good. And this was easy. I mean, it was a piece of cake. I could have done a lot better. And it got a 423 compared to the Nismo's 426.9. Anyways, all right. So that's the unmodified version. I really enjoyed that. Now let's try the stock modified. Okay, Super RZ modified. No upgrades. Default stock configuration. Ooh, it feels really good. Feels so smooth. I just let off the throttle for a touch, and that was all it needed. Looks good in black too. Oh, I took a chance there. I was like, I wonder if I could get away with no brake here. Didn't really lose a lot of speed though. Looks good in black and it looks good in blue. Ooh, which one would I choose? I don't know. Looks so good in both. Not a lot of pull in 6th gear. Let's put her back down to 5th, 4th, 3rd. Ooh, a little bit of understeer there. But I was carrying more speed probably than I did before, because I was actually driving slightly more gracefully this time around than I did in the standard A80RZ tests, I think. So I've got some experience with this car compared to the non-M $16,800 variant. So I have more confidence in it. I was carrying so much speed. That was kind of a rough mistake to... That one was tolerable. Not happy about it, but I can live with it. It's not the car's fault. Driver error. What are you gonna do? More driver error here because I could have carried way more speed into that first part into the tunnel. Could have carried a little bit more speed there, but not much more. Perfect. Smooth. About the same as I did with the non-M variant there. I could have also done that slightly faster. I'm really curious what's the difference between the M and the non-M versions besides the huge price difference. Because they feel the same. Okay, this one's faster. I got a 2-second difference. Instead of a 423.6, I got a 421.3. So 2.3 seconds faster for way more money. For like $23,000 more, you get a car that's 2.3 seconds quicker. Not necessarily either, because I might have driven a little bit cleaner this time around than I did with the standard 16,800 version. So, you know what I mean? They're so similar. Like, you could barely tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference driving them. So I'm wondering if I went back and tried harder on the 16,800 version, if I could also get the same time. So I got a 421, is that what it was? Wow, that's faster than everything we've tried today. So, man, these cars, these Supras are so much better than the R32s. It's no question about it. They're really enjoyable to drive. The most enjoyable car to drive in the entire game, probably, really. I mean, I'm all about my NSX, but that doesn't mean it's the most satisfying to drive. The Supra really is. Then again, the RX-7 and the R34 is surprisingly very satisfying to drive as well. You would think it would just be an understeer monster like the R32s, but not really. It's actually pretty fun to drive. So, okay, should I even test them both modified? I guess I have to. I really like this section of the track with all those little bounces and bumps and undulations in the road. Most of the track's pretty flat, and that's the only part that's really not. My son's in the room talking in the background, distracting me a little bit, but hopefully it's not coming through the microphone too bad. That was a weird line for that corner. Should have come in from the outside more. Made a mistake there, but it was okay. The Supra is such a good car, you can almost get away with some stuff that definitely couldn't get away with in other cars. It's a very fun car to drive. It's kind of playful, lets you drift a little, but you can get overconfident. So hopefully I don't. But man, is it a pleasure to drive. I know I keep saying that. Even the stock variation was a pleasure to drive. And so is the tuned version, you know. I still haven't driven the tuned up, upgraded of the A80RZ, only the A80RZM here. I am curious what that's going to be like. It'll be a first time experience for me. Wouldn't it be hilarious if the cheap Supra is just as good as the expensive Supra? All these years I've been spending too much money on the expensive Supra, and it turns out it'll be like, should have just got the cheap one. It's just as good. I mean, so far it's starting to look like it's stacking up that way because the stock versions were the same, and the top speed's the same. So I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen here. You would think the cheap one would have to be worse, though, you know? It would just have to be. $16,800 versus what, $44,500? Oops, I touched the wall. That's never a good thing. Hopefully I don't touch the wall going out onto the straightaway. That'll be a really bad thing. Like I said, it's not the car's fault, it's just driver error. Yep, driver error. I lost some speed there. Not the worst scratch on the wall in the world, but you can see I did lose some speed, maybe a second. Oh, I thought I had that. I don't know what happened there to me at the very end. I think I just touched the brake pedal one time too many when I was pumping the brake at the very end. That sucks, because that would have been nice and smooth. Lost a little bit of time there. Man, this car is just great to drive, though. It really is. What did we get? We got a 332. Pretty good, but let's see. 332 264. Now the stock version was a tie. They both got 423, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. I believe that's what it was. I think they both got like the same time. Now the modified versions, let's see if the other one I can also get a 332 in. That'd be pretty crazy, or at least something really close to that. The R32s fully tuned were 3 minutes and 39 second time attacks, and this was Supra fully tuned 332. So 7 seconds faster than a fully tuned Skyline GTR R32. So the Supra is better than the R32, not just in terms of how good it feels, but also in the time. by quite a bit, 7 seconds faster. The only thing is I don't like the modified headlight. I know why they did that, because like I guess it's like an air intake with the opening in the left headlight for like cold air intake, maybe situated right behind where that headlight is, but it's kind of ugly. You know, I'm tempted to put the stock headlights on there. I'm gonna keep watching this replay until I get to this hairpin, and then I'll go to the next one, because I think I did a pretty sweet looking hairpin on this run. Not the last hairpin, the one at the end, but this little one coming up here, this left-hander. Here it comes. Let's see how good it looks in the replay anyways. Ooh, looking pretty good so far. Kind of bouncy, but you know, smooth, perfect. What are you gonna do? Alright. Time for the other one. Time for the cheap Supra. Can the cheap Supra defeat the expensive Supra? Probably not. But we're gonna have fun trying. I'm kind of quiet because I'm really concentrating. I want this cheap Supra to win. Couldn't have done that more perfectly. Could have done that a little quicker. Whatever. That's okay, that's okay. Oh! Ah! Touched a wall. How much is that gonna affect my time? As long as I don't touch this wall coming up. Perfect! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew! Intense. Not because the Supra's hard to drive, but because I cannot make a single mistake. I have to drive perfectly, or else I cannot hang with the expensive Supra's lap time, you know what I mean? This car is not supposed to win, but I want it to. And yes, I did hit a wall back there. Hopefully it won't kill our time that much. What are you gonna do? Let's see what we get. Don't ruin it right at the very end. I did! I ruined it right at the very end. Did you see that? I lost like 2 seconds at the very end. But I still got a 332. Oh my god. Right at the very end, I touched the wall and my car froze. Like, froze in place. Froze in time. That I lost a second at least. I would have got a 331. I'm calling it. I'm saying I beat it. I am happy. The cheap Supra can defeat the expensive Supra. They both got 332s, you know? And man, did I smack that wall right at the very, 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 very end and lost a lot of time. So I would say, for real, you could call this a 331. Because I lost the whole second where the car just stopped in the middle of the road, like on a wall right at the end. So I think the cheap Supra wins. So how interesting is that? The cheaper R32 is better, and the cheaper Supra is better. Nobody ever would have thought that. I never would have predicted that in a million years. Ever. I always would think, oh, the more expensive Nismo R32 is better. Oh, the more expensive modified $44,000 Supra is better. What? The cheaper ones were actually better, if not just as good. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I'm very, very surprised, but very, very happy by those results, man. Interesting. I wonder if there are any other cars in the game like that, where there's like some kind of secret underdog that's actually just as good or better for less money. That's pretty crazy. It's more crazy with the R32s in a way, because even though they're closer in price, it's crazy that the V-Spec 2 is superior by a long shot as far as like comfortable, really well handling car, you know what I mean? Because you would think like the Nismo is the track focused one that would be just better in every way, but it really isn't. The Nismo is difficult to drive. It has so much understeer. And then with the Supras, they're actually so identical almost. They're almost the same cars. The only thing is that the price is huge. There's a massive difference in price. So that's really it. So I guess there's no point in spending 44 grand on a Supra when you can just get one for 16 grand. That's pretty cool.